Hello fashion lovers, welcome again to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be teaching you on how to cut and sew this trendy halter neck backless top with collar, but I'll be adding a little twist to the back of this dress. Now this dress comes with a belt, buttonhole and a collar. So if you're looking forward to make this dress, then this particular tutorial is for you. So without wasting so much time, let's get right into the making of this stylish top. Now this particular tutorial, you will need your fabric, your ruler, your scissors, your chalk, your measurement tape, pins and a matching color thread. So I used 1.5 yard for this. What I did was to go ahead and take the measurement of the largest part of my body, which is my bust. My bust is about 44. I just added at least 4 inches on the actual measurement so that I can cut out my fabric, so I don't have too many fabric on the table. So as you can see, I added like 3 inches extra. Then I went ahead now to cut out the length of this dress. So the length of this particular top is 28, that is hemming allowance inclusive. Then I went ahead to mark out my shoulder measurement, which is shoulder measurement divided by 2. That's what I marked down. Then I went ahead now to mark out my neck width, which is 3.5, and the length is 1.5 inches. So for the sake of this particular tutorial, my chalk isn't really showing, but I'm going to be using arrows and drawing lines so that you could see what I finally came up with. But if you follow this particular tutorial very well, you would still understand what I'm doing. Because of this fabric, the chalk wasn't showing up at all. It was not visible at all. So from that my shoulder measurement, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch. From that 1 inch, I'm going to be connecting that line to my neck width, okay, my neckline, and it's going to be forming the slanted shoulder for this particular dress. Now whatever I have on my shoulder measurement, I'm going to be going down by my armhole measurement. Now if your armhole is 8 inches, here you're going to be 8 inches minus 1, because it's an halter neck dress and you don't want it to be showing the boobs, okay? Then whatever you have there, if it's 7 inches you have there, finally you divide that 7 inches by 2, you're going to be having 3.5. That 3.5 is going to be your midpoint for this particular dress, okay? Now whatever you have on your shoulder measurement, which is 8 that I marked down, I'm going to be going down to that's my armhole line and mark it so that I can have a straight line. I'm trying to make the line very visible, just the way you see me, just you have a straight line. Then the midpoint that I got, I'm going to be marking out 0.75 to get my armhole curve, right? Then to get the third point for the armhole curve, I'm going to be marking my bust measurement on that my armhole line. So your bust measurement divided by 4, that's what you're going to actually mark down. Then you connect the 3 points together, okay, just the way you see me do. Go ahead and do yours like that. I connected the midpoint to the shoulder line and the shoulder line to the other bust measurement that we got, and we have our armhole curve. So you would see a line indicating what I did, okay? Now from the top of my top, I'm going to be marking out my shoulder to bust, which is 12 inches, and I'm going to be marking my shoulder to waist, then my shoulder to my top length. So go ahead and mark out your shoulder to your bust and your shoulder to your waist. So on your shoulder to your bust, that's your bust line, you're going to be marking out your bust measurement divided by 4. Then on your waistline, you mark out your waistline, that's your waist measurement divided by 4. Then connect it to your bust line like this. I'm so sorry that the chalk is really not showing, but if you look closely you will see that it's showing. Then on the M line, I'm going to be marking out my hip measurement. Of course, my hip measurement and my bust measurement is actually same, so I will connect my waist to my top length, and that is it for it. Okay, I'm going to make the chalk at least visible, but it's not really showing. So now this is the most important part. From that my neckline, that's my shoulder part, that shoulder, slanted shoulder, I'm going to be coming out by 2 inches. Then connect from that my armhole, just the way you see me do. I connected from my armhole directly to that 2 inches I came out from, and this is what is going to be giving you, right? Follow, if you follow closely, you would get what exactly I did over there. So next, I'm going to be adding my seam allowance. Go ahead and add your seam allowance. For this particular tutorials, I'm going to be adding about 1.5 inches seam allowance, and I'm going to be cutting out just right away. So follow the way I'm cutting, and you would see that it is very easy to achieve this stylish halter neck top. Okay, now this is our back pattern. I'm going to be bringing out my next pattern. I just added like 2.5 inches to the fabric. Then I'm going to be placing my back pattern over this piece of fabric. Now the extra 2.5 inches is for my button allowance, so I'm going to go ahead and pin. As you can see, I left 2.5 inches for my button allowance. I just went ahead now to cut out everything same as my back. The only difference is that the front is carrying extra 2.5 inches. Okay, now the front neck is usually not same with the back, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be altering the front neck, and I'm coming down by 3 inches. You can do 3.5. Okay, so I'm just going to rule a straight line, then blend the curve inside to meet the initial curve for the neck. If you follow the way I'm doing it, you are going to achieve it. Sorry about the chalk once again. So now you can see that we have altered the front neck, and I'm just going ahead to notch out the button allowance, right? Okay, so we have cut out both the back and the front pattern. So if you want to, at this point, if you want to the button to have curve, you can go ahead and do that. So next up is my belt. I'm going to be folding my remaining piece of fabric into two, and the length I'm going to be using for this particular belt is about 30. Then the wideness, that is the width, because it's going to be folded. Okay, I'm going to be cutting out 7 inches, right? I'm going to be cutting out 7 inches. So when I fold it, it will be 3.5. Okay, so as you can see, I've marked out my 7 inches, and I'm going to mark it all the way down till I get to the end. Now this is going to be 7 for 2 belts. So I'm going to be opening the edge that is folded. As you can see, now it's going to be 7 for 2 belts. So when I open it all the way, after removing or folding it, this is what it's going to look like. I'll sew the edge like that. So I went ahead now to iron my button allowance. Go ahead and iron yours, fold them and iron, then sew on top of the line, on top of the ironed part. Okay, then this is my back pattern. I'm going to bring my front and place the right side facing right side and join my shoulders. So I'm going to be placing it like this, then join it with half an inch. So I was done joining the shoulders and sewing the buttonhole. I'm going to go ahead and use my bias to turn the sleeve area. So as you can see, I've gone ahead again to sew my belt, and this is what the belt looks like. So I was done sewing. I'm done sewing the bias part. Sorry, I'm not using the actual color because at the time when I was sewing it, I didn't have the actual color of the dress. So now to fix my belt, you know that our initial shoulder to waist is about 18.5. But what we did here is that we went up by 1 inch. And I'm going to be fixing the part that is not closed. I'm going to be putting it at that point where I marked my waist, shoulder to waist, okay? I'm going to be pinning it and I will sew on it. I will shape the dress together with the belt, and that is it. So next up is I'm going to be going round my neckline to know how many is the round neck, and here you have it is about 21. I'm going to be drawing out a box. 21 divided by 2 will have 10.5. So I'm just going to draw out a box. I went up by 5 and my length, my wideness or width is about 10.5, as you can see. So I've drawn out a box, and I'm going to be dividing this box into 2. Okay, so I went up by 2.5 from the top of this collar, and I'm going to draw a straight line. So from the down part of this particular dress collar, I'm going to be going up by 0.5 inch, and I'm going to blend it to reach the end point of this dress. All right, now this is going to form a slanted look. Just slant it in. Then from that half that we divided the box into, I'm going to be coming out by my button. My button allowance for this particular tutorial is about 2 inches. So as you can see, I've already marked out my 2 inches from that center front of my collar. Okay, then at this point you can do a slight curve, or you leave it squared up like that. Then you're going to be extending the collar from that point where my hand is. I'm going to be slanting it to meet up with that in our initial box. Okay, so that's the slanted line over there. If you follow every step of this my tutorial, regardless that the chalk isn't showing well, you're going to get it. So cutting out, I'm going to be adding half inch for my joining allowance. That is my sewing allowance. Okay, just follow closely. Go ahead and mark out your half inch for your seam allowance, then cut out. Okay, this particular tutorial, it's not beginner friendly because the chalk is not showing very well, and most of the things I did was for intermediate and advanced. Okay, but if you are smart at observing, you can get it right. So go ahead and cut out. This part I'm cutting out is the part where it's going to sit on the neck of the top. Okay, I'm going to be cutting 2 of this. I'm cutting out 2 of this. So go ahead and cut out your collar to be 2 pieces. I've gone ahead to cut the 2 pieces, and I've joined the collar, the upper part of this collar. That's what you can see. Then I went ahead to mark out fold in half inch, ironed, so that it will be easy for me to sew directly on my top. Now if you've done this, I'm going to be explaining this again. I went ahead to fold in half an inch on both sides like this. So next you're going to be joining the sides with half an inch. Just follow the way my hands are going. That's how you're going to be joining the sides. Okay, you can join the sides, then iron your half an inch if you want to. Then next, when you're done ironing the half an inch you joined, you're going to bring the top of the neck, that's the neck area of your top, and fix it inside the end part of the collar, then pin. So when you're fixing in, fix in at least half an inch on both ends. When you fix it like this, just watch the way I'm fixing mine, then fix yours like that. Fix everything, then pin. This will make it easy for you to sew neatly. So as you can see, I've fixed my collar, and this is what it looks like, and this is what the dress looks like. So you can go ahead and do your buttonhole and button allowance. It's not difficult. This is what the dress looks like. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, and comment. And guys, this is what the final look looks like. Isn't it beautiful? Okay. So for this particular week, we're going to be doing jumpsuit series. You don't want to miss this series. So please like, share, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my page. Bye.